Let's go ahead and go back to Chris in South Carolina.
Hey, Alex.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen, I can't
anyway.
go through. Hold on, I can't go through 2 hours of prefaces or how I interrupt. You got 60 seconds. Go ahead.
When I was watching your speech against the tyranny of the elite, I didn't get. There was a gut feeling in me that something wasn't right, and let me explain that. Because last week on CNN, they had a segment that featured the D.C. Madam scandal, and they said, everybody on the blogs is talking about it and how, it wasn't a suicide and everything. Well, they featured your website on CNN, and I was thinking, that's basically an advertisement for Prison Planet. We know how the mainstream media works. If they don't want to call attention to the source, they just ignore it. And those things do not sit right with me, and I had to ask myself a question when you were talking to G. Edward Griffin, who is one of my heroes, by the way. Just like I did, I want people to ask themselves a question. Do you feel empowered or do you feel disempowered after listening to Alex Jones? Do you feel as if the movement is making a difference, or do you feel panicked, anxious, and cut off from thinking that anything can be done? And I think most people will come to the same conclusion I did. See, Alex, I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to put you on hold.
No.
Oh, I'll just let you go. How's that sound? I gave you about a minute and a half earlier. I just gave you about 2 minutes there, and that's not enough for you. Okay, now let me address just the false claim after false claim after false claim after false claim after innuendo and canards that you just threw out there. Okay? You sound like the agent calling into the show. You say you like G. Edward Griffin, but that I have him on, but that basically he's empowering people, but I'm not. I mean, that's basically what you're getting at. I bring G. Edward Griffin on, and he gets more members to his Freedom Force International than he gets in the previous year in one appearance on my show. Government agents don't have good people like G. Edward Griffin empowering people and exposing the private Federal Reserve on, and then say, here, raise lots of money for your group and get a bunch of people to join. Or bring Ron Paul on, who said that he got more support from my show than anyone else. And then empower a movement that's got the Trilateral Commission scared. This show is not about Alex Jones, number one. It's not about getting so obsessed with me that we sit here, wondering about Alex Jones. The media has to respond to me at times. The media has to cover me sometimes. Not very much. I probably get on national television about 3 times a year. And generally, it's when they want a clip of some big guy I've gone on, like Willie Nelson, saying 9/11's an inside job, or Governor Ventura, and they will take a clip of that, and they've got to say where it came from. CNN or Fox will call up and say, we want that clip. What do you want? How much money do you want? And I say, I don't want any money. Just say AlexJonesInfowars.com. And they say, thank you. We're going to fax something over. We need you to sign it. Boom, I sign it. Now, CNN called me, and the producers wanted to have me on a bunch of their shows, and they always called back and said, yeah, the higher-ups don't want you on. I actually had A.J. Hammer, who, by the way, knows it's an inside, well, I don't want to say that. Behind the scenes, I've talked to him. There are some good people at CNN and Fox and everywhere else. They're not all agents. It's the higher-ups. And they're fans of the show. They have me on a few times. It gets record ratings. And then I talk to their producers, and they go, yeah, we want you on, but the higher-ups, the execs above programming called and said, do not put him on anymore. And I've had TV execs call me and go, your Q scores are incredible on television. People just cannot stop looking at you. And I'm not saying I'm good looking. That's not what it is. It's kind of like Rodney Dangerfield. You can't stop looking at him. And he's an old fat guy. It's that people can't stop looking at me. I mean, it just TV execs have told me, and they've actually had my Q scores done at some companies without me even knowing, and later told me about it. Very high. Very high. For some reason, my mannerisms, the way I look, the way I talk, really, and so they're like, man, we love having you on. Our ratings go out the roof. But then they get calls and say, don't have him on. So if you really want to get into all this, I can explain it to you. Yes, CNN attacked me and said that she didn't commit suicide and that I was basically wrong, was the whole part of the piece, and showed prisonplanet.com. And then played a clip, unless you're talking about another CNN I didn't know about, of my show. They call one day and ask to use it. They call the next and say, oh, we're not going to have you on, Nancy Grace and this other show and this show and that show. But can we still use the clip? And I said, yeah, I told you. Leave me alone. Use the clip. And so, see, I've just burned about 5 minutes explaining this. Let me tell you something. Patriots tell you you are empowered. You have an effect. They work with others. But I am trying to scare you. I'm scared. I mean, I'm concerned. I am saying, is a buoy, when I'm out on Lake Travis with friends fishing and I see a hazard buoy, do I go, how dare them try to scaremonger? No, there's a big submerged rock. There's a cliff face sticking out. It's 2 feet under the water that'll rip the bottom of your boat off. So they got a buoy saying hazard. And so I come on and go, this is serious. That's why I've woken up more people than anybody else in this movement. Everybody says it. Ron Paul, G. Edward Griffin, Jack McClan, they all say it. So judge a tree by its fruits. Am I effective? Yes. Do I break major stories and work my butt off? Yes. Am I trying to build a more effective organization? Yes. Am I perfect? No. But I wake up all these people, and I tell you you're empowered, and I empower all these other groups, and when you go, I got a bad feeling when CNN was reporting on you. Well, yeah, they called up and said, you want money? They always want to give you money, at $500, $1,000, and then they always got to check back if they'll put your website up. I want my website covered. You're going to play my clip. So that's what that was, goofball. Oh my gosh, I'm in league with him. If I was in league with him, it'd be Alex Jones, the phenomenon, waking America up. He's a great guy. He's got millions of listeners. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and go to Howard in New York. Howard, you're on the air. Go ahead.
First of all, I said I disagree with you and I don't like you. I didn't say you suck or anything like that.
Okay, well, whatever. That's what they said you said.
All right. Second
You're on the air now, sir. Go ahead.
Give me 2 minutes to interrupt me, okay? Then you can say anything.
I know, you got to always act like you got the power and you're setting the ground rules. Sir, make your point or I'm going to hang up on you.
Okay. I've read your website a few times, and I've listened to a few guests you had on. And I see all these articles you have on your website talking about Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, Ariel Sharon, and the like. And I feel, in my opinion, you're no better than George Galloway, no better than Ray McGovern, no better than Mel Gibson. In my opinion, I think you're an anti-Semite. And I just heard you say that Israel has 400 nuclear weapons. How do you know that? And if they did, they're the only civilized country in the Middle East, surrounded by a bunch of maniacs who want to bomb them.
Hold on, this is all crazy here. Are you saying I'm lying about Israel having nukes?
Well, how do you know? Prove that.
Well, Mr. Morneau and a bunch of other people have come out, and Israel has admitted in a bunch of declassified documents because the media has only lied in the U.S. and said they didn't have nukes all these years, but now it's admitted. It's admitted, sir. You're saying I'm lying about that?
Well, I never read an article saying that.
Okay, hold on. You don't want to put you on hold. Actually hung up on him. Sir, call back in. We'll keep a line open for you. I missed the number there and hit the wrong button. Listen, I can't do this with you, okay? I can't be in this delusional world with you. I can't do it anymore. All right, brother? I can't live in an imaginary world anymore. I won't do it. See, most Americans think if something's your opinion, that makes it so. He said, I'd like to see your article. I'd like to see your proof of that. They've arrested a bunch of their scientists that worked at these labs. They've had nukes since the early 1960s. The United States gave it to them. They've got, of course, former President Jimmy Carter, and then Israel got mad and said he released classified info. They said it was true. A few weeks ago said, hey, you got 200 and something nukes. That's how much he knew when he was in office. It's 400. The real number is more like 800. If you want to get technical, it's 800. But the mainline scholarly amount admitted the last time stuff got leaked in the early 90s was 400. They got German Dolphin subs. They've got cruise missiles, bombers, everything. And so I say Israel's got 400 nukes, whether it's 200 or 900, whatever. They got hundreds of nuclear weapons. It's hypocritical to say that Iran's going to get one when the UN and everybody else says, and our own CIA assessment says they don't have nukes. To then say, well, they might get one someday, so we want to nuke them. They've said, hit them with a bunch of strategic nukes, which then, by the way, will add and create isotopes with a ground detonation, much dirtier than an atmospheric, because then the atmosphere, it doesn't create a lot of fallout. The fallout's the combination of the reaction and the surrounding metals and compounds. You know what a little bit of cobalt will do? Just a little bit in the ground where that nuke goes off? I mean, let's say a little bit of cobalt in a machine at that base, and they have, by the way, cobalt and things there. Just hundreds of different metals create incredibly radioactive isotopes, and they want to hit them with hundreds of strategic nukes all over Iran at all their research sites, destroying their entire infrastructure. That will be thrown into the air, and we'll breathe it. Okay, when I almost don't exist, because my grandfathers both almost died fighting Hitler. How dare you? I mean, now it's basically implied that America's Nazi Germany, and America's bad, and America has got to. And I'll tell you something too. I don't like the fact that Israel's been caught spying on this country so much, and I don't like the fact that Benjamin Netanyahu's mother founded the Mossad. He's known to be a dual citizen, and he is known to be Homeland Security head. He wants to use Israeli companies, this is Reuters, to run domestic checkpoints and train our police to have domestic checkpoints in America, violate my Fourth Amendment.